very good day to you. A warm welcome to our Vendee Live. It's midday in the UTC world, 1300 hours here in France, live from the foot of the Eiffel Tower. And still the Union Jack is flying from the top. The roast beef rocket is cooking on gas right now and is still leading. It's day number 12 on the race course, Thursday the 17th of November. And a special thanks to our special guest today, Sydney Gavinier, skipper of Oman Sail, multi-70 sailor, round-the-world sailor, America's Cup sailor, a Mocha sailor, a little bit of laser sailing way back in the old days. Sydney, welcome. We'll join you in a minute. Hugo Boss then is 69 miles ahead of Armel Leclerc. She's made a gain of 16 miles over the course of the morning. They're reaching in 18 to 20 knots of breeze just now. Meantime, Vincent Rioux and Sébastien Josse are trying to couper le fromage, to cut the corner a little bit, sailing in VMG mode, more directly down towards the waypoint. There are 11 boats across the equator into the southern hemisphere, and so the Magnificent Seven at the front of them are riding clear. Meantime, the Dirty Dozen are back in the doldrums. So let's have a look at the classements, the rankings at midday as it stands at the moment. Well, Alex Thomson leading, making 22.1 knots. Armel Leclerc, 69 miles behind, to say a gain of 16 miles to Alex this morning. Sébastien Josse in third at 70 miles behind the leader. Vincent Rioux at 90 miles behind the leader. Paul Mea, 143 miles behind. Morgan Lagravière, 181 miles behind. Jeremy Biou in seventh, 227 miles behind. Jan Elias, 365.3 miles behind. Jean Le Cam, 494 miles, and Jean-Pierre Dick back in the top 10. Speeds of 19.3 knots for Jean-Pierre this morning and going a little bit better. I think we do have Alex Thomson, the Vendee Globe race leader. Alex, how are you?
Yeah, it's a bit bumpy, Andy. I don't really have a lot of wind. I'm just looking at the statistics. It's pretty amazing to be on a boat where in 16, 17 knots of wind I can average 22 knots. So it's good for me, this. I think the breeze has finally come left a bit, allowed Hugo Boss to lift off her skirts a little bit and go a bit quicker. So I'm enjoying it. I'm going to have a bit more breeze, I think, for a few hours, and then hopefully the nice bit lightens up a little bit before I think tomorrow we're going to start a real fast dash for 3 or 4 days down towards Cape Good Hope.
Tell us a little bit about this low pressure you're going towards. How does it look?
I couldn't have asked for it to be positioned perfectly, more perfectly. It's in a great position. It's a very normal scenario, this. So it's going to develop there just off the permafront, and it's going to move down, and with a bit of luck, I'll be able to stay ahead of it. And I would think most of the lead pack will be able to stay with this low pressure for quite a while.
Okay, Alex. Sydney Gavinier, would you like to ask a quick question to Alex?
Yeah, Alex, well, first thing, congratulations for your race so far. It's impressive. Nice to hear that you're enjoying. And now my question is about this low pressure. Are you preparing yourself and the boat for higher wind speed? And we were talking with Seb Josse before, and they were saying that it's going to be probably the first test of a strong man conditions. Are you preparing yourself for that?
Yeah, yeah. I think Seb's right. It's going to be the first real test, I guess. The boats will be going fast. I'm imagining a wind angle of about 120, 125 true, sailing in 23 to 26 knots of wind. Depending on the wave conditions will depend on how fast the boats will go. To be honest, if it was flat conditions, in those winds, my boat could average over 30 knots. But with waves, I don't expect to be going much faster than I'm going now, to be honest. 23, 24 knots. So today I'll prepare the boat a little bit better when the breeze goes down a little. I'll have a final tidy up, final reslack of the boat, I'll try and get as much sleep as I can in the next 24 hours. I've got a couple of little jobs, a little composite repair job I need to do, just to try and do the final details, get everything ready, make sure my sail plan is correct for when it comes, make sure my contingencies are ready, make sure I am fresh, and then be able to hit the turbo button when it arrives. And I guess we're going to find out how strong these boats are now.
Exactly. Seb was saying that so far no one was really ready to give up, and probably that's the first test on that aspect. Who's going to be ready to lift the foot a little bit, and your reputation is that you're a bit heavy on the foot. So I think it's the right moment for you to show that you got matured, and that you can show the French that you've learned.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
I think that's the perfect answer, Alex.
I think these boats, the limit is quite obvious. Believe me. You know when you have to slow down. Last night I slowed down. The 24 hours before the Cape Verdes I slowed down. So you get told. The phone tells you when to slow down. Don't you worry about that.
The Summer Series Championships Act 2 of the MC-38s was held by the Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron on Sydney Harbour. It turned out to be the Battle of the Kiwis, Neville Crichton with Maserati and Howard Spence in Menace. At the end of the races, they both ended up on 15 points, but the trophy went to Howard Spence as he had one extra win up his sleeve. Day one Saturday started late as there were high winds on Sydney Harbour, and as you can see from the pictures, it was fantastic racing. We're at the Manly Yacht Club. It's Sunday morning and we've run into Russell Coutts, who's in Sydney for the big New South Wales Cup. Now Russell, what brings you here apart from, I suppose you've got a team here, have you?
Oh, we've got 6 kids from New Zealand competing in this event, so it's great. It's a really fantastic event, and I've forgotten how nice this whole area is. It's just beautiful. So it's a great experience for them to come over here and sail against the Australian kids, and have a lot of fun. They're definitely enjoying the racing here.
Have you got your BDI on them for the America's Cup? Or?
No. It's all about getting kids just to love the sport and learn as much as they possibly can. So, and by learning, they learn how to handle the boat better and control it better. I think racing is a good format for that, because it gives them a bit of a discipline to what they're doing.
Well, do you spend much time in New Zealand these days, or are you mostly in the US?
I try to spend as much time as possible in New Zealand, but obviously I have some demands, mainly in Bermuda actually. So we've got our event office in Bermuda, a full team of people there. So that's where I spend a lot of my time.
Well, I suppose you're on the way to Japan tonight, are you?
Yes, leave for tonight. We've got the first America's Cup of Indonesia actually happening next weekend. It's a little bit late in the season, but we were sort of dictated on schedule because of the previous event in Toulon, France. So, but we're hoping for some good wind, and you know, hopefully we'll get that and give sailing a little bit of a push in Asia.
So, getting back to the America's Cup, Russell, there's so many new things that have happened in sailing that the traditionalists would never have thought about. Now, is there anything you can actually put your finger on as to any great advances that you've made just recently?
I think the advances are obvious in terms of the technology. But what I would say is, I think there's a misconception about how this has changed sailing. I think in many ways the skills that are required to win in the modern America's Cup are the same or similar to the skills, let's say the fundamental skills required in the past. And you still see the top sailors that are winning in this modern format. They could equally win in the old format. There's no magic to that. And I remember when we first moved to multi-hulls, some of the people were saying that the multi-hull sailors would dominate and so forth. Well, that's proven to be simply not true. It's the good sailors figure the boats out, no matter what they are, and end up coming through and having the top performances. And look at the Ben Ainsleys of this world, Giles Scott, Jimmy Spittle, Tom Slingsby, Nathan Outridge, Ian Percy, Peter Burling, Blair Turk, and I guess you've got Glenn Ashby, who would be a recognised multi-hull sailor in there as well. But many of them are from monohull backgrounds, and they've adapted to this new format because the fundamentals are the same. It's still yacht racing. You've still got to choose the correct tacks to be on the favoured side of the course, and the positioning's different, obviously, because the boats are a lot faster. But I think the same fundamentals are proving to be valuable.
Okay, that's at about 70 feet, so you can snub it there. So how's that water?
Oh, this is my paradise.
It's called Paradise Beach, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was always this nice little patch of sand here that was just a beautiful spot. It's got about 2 to 3 feet under the keel. Perfect clear water. It's like a swimming pool.
Yeah, it's my swimming pool.
So there you go. Alright, well, what else can I say but welcome to Paradise Beach. How do you like that backyard? Is that a nice backyard?
Let's go to swim.
I'm ready to go to the water. What do you think, Tiki? There's our backyard of the day. Oh yeah, somebody's in a hurry. Alright, so it's early morning and we're about to set sail as soon as we get this project fixed, but first we got to go in and fix that problem with the steering. I already went in and had a look at it, and the problem is one of the cables has slipped off one of the pulleys somehow. I still haven't figured out how. It's the second time it happened, but regardless, we got to put it back on and then just keep it clear of everything. I don't know if something maybe fell into it when we heeled over, because it happened when we tacked, so it's a possibility that something in the back storage area rolled over, got in the way of one of the wires. I haven't seen anything in the way, but yeah, I'm going to have to just clear it out and have a look. But as you can see, I've already got it opened up and taken apart in here. It's all in our aft cabin right here. Everything's taken apart and back in the service area, which is where the rudder is and the autopilot. There's our autopilot control right there, all the life jackets and storage behind, and there's the rudder quadrant right there. We need to turn the rudder quadrant to gain access to the cable adjusters, so we're going to do that next. You can see right here where the cable has slipped off the pulley. Therein lies our problem. So the cable is just slipping on the pin right now, so it's still engaged. I can still steer, but it's going to wear out or cause damage to the cable if we keep doing that. So we need to pull that pin out and adjust the cable at the back of the rudder quadrant to loosen it up to give us some slack, and then put it all back together. So as much as that's not a lot of fun, that's this morning's project. In we go. Okay, well, I think I found the source of the problem. Not much I'm going to be able to do about it other than just put it back together right now. But the problem looks to be this pulley, which is the main pulley, one of the corner pulleys on the steering system that connects the two wheels together. If you look down the profile of that pulley, I think you can see this side is much thicker than this side. This side is almost very sharp. And that would be because the wire chafing against this side of the pulley has actually worn it away over time, and you can see it's a polished edge, and that's from the wire chafing on the pulley. So now what's happening is it's not just chafing it anymore, it's getting caught on that sharp edge, and the sharp edge is popping the wire out. So that's not good. We got to keep the wire in the groove. So for now, the only thing I can do, I'm going to turn the pulley around to put the strain on the other side now, which is a clean side. We're going to take some pictures and some measurements of the pulley, and then we'll have something, we'll get something produced, or we'll pick up a replacement for it or get a new one made, one of the two, but we're going to have to replace this one. Now, I mean, that's 20 years of use, so who knows, it may last another 20 years on the other side. But the prudent thing would be to do, just in case, especially if we're going to be doing any ocean crossings, something like that, we don't want to risk losing our steering mid-ocean and having to do this kind of job back there then. That is no fun at all. Especially since you have to do it with the rudder hard over to starboard in order to access the wire for this pulley. So that's what we can do. That's all we can do right now. Just take some pictures and measurements and put it back in. And hopefully it'll last long enough to keep us going for the next little while we find a replacement. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. Always just, of course, prudent to do a test of everything before. Make sure both wheels, see now they're connected, they're moving in tandem, so that's good. There's just a little bit of slack in them, so the cable's not overly tight. We don't want too much tension that it makes the wheels stiff. So it seems perfect right now. We go all the way to port, full stop, both wheels good. Come back to center, all the way to starboard. Full stop. Okay, nothing in the way, everything seems good. Alright, back to top dead center. Alright, I think we're good to go.
Comfortably, easy in the gym in a big puff. Comfortably, the gun
We're underway.
Gone, and the smeg just sheets on and goes. The Cooper's going at full speed.
Clear start, Bucko.
Clear start, no general recall, and off we go. Yeah, I don't think the race is going to be decided by this margin, though, Bob.
No. There'll be some major...
The next leg could be a bit telling.
He's got that look about it. Get the rust out Sunday here.
Here he goes. This will be something to behold.
Straight to Bradley's.
Back of the bus, ladies and gentlemen.
Catabatic Sunday, looking at tree here. Happy just to let Ricky sit in so they can get some soak going. Put the bow down at every opportunity.
Yeah. Not quite at full tilt, just a bit over 20 knots, according to our speedometer. The Ragged Famish coming behind without a shoot at this stage.
You got the speed puck on, bro?
Yeah, I've got him at 20. But here they go, they're pressing hard, a bit harder now. The jibe mark right on the bow, I think, Bob, yeah? Cooper's 62's got their chute up now. They're behind by a little way, but that's irrelevant.
Now, problem is, they've got to get up to this turn mark.
Yeah, no. They'll have to take it off on the face of this one, Bob, I would suggest. They
don't want to leave it too late.
On a header,
Oh,
and
the
halyard
halyard
broke. Or came uncleated or something. And what are they thinking? They're thinking...
Rehoist? No, bring
no.
it down.
No.
Bring it down.
How do we get it
How
to
to get
bed?
it in?
How to get it in. They're in the biggest puff we've seen so far.
Oh, man.
And don't try this one at home. I think this might end in tears. Kilo. Ooh. Ooh.
It's only got to snag some water, hasn't it?
Ooh.
Flag.
Got plenty of apparent over it. Oh, just talk about living dangerously. Yeah. He's just pulled the sheet on and he's just hoping that it maintains itself out of the water somehow. He can
Quite hard to get that in the boat.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, he's going to go to rehoist, but here's the really dangerous bit now. No, he's going to drop. Correct decision. Put it in the boat and
Rag, no shoot.
Live to fight another day. The rag got theirs up and took it straight back down again. And then you got another problem of having to run square to the mark.
So we get the bow down, fellas.
Here he goes. He has... No, there's some problem with the jib sheeting. Would expect.
Just trying to buy their time, are they, to get the bow down?
Well, yeah, I think they had a jib sheet problem and then they were waiting for a little bit of lull, which they got. But they dead square to the mark. They'll get there, I think. Yeah. Smeg seems to be having a bit of trouble with... Oh, there they go. They're good. Wow.
Launched.
Launch. Full launch. So straight to Point Piper at warp speed. Oh, no, bows come up. Interesting.
We might hear some audio out of Marcus here too.
He does have some volume, doesn't he?
He's got some volume on. Nice and wet, that chute. Big wrap in it. Geronimo.
Wow, they're off on the face of one there, mate. But got it under control.
Fully lit up now.
They're just coming into shot. There's a furlough fisher still battling on upwind. That's pretty fresh there, Bob, though.
So he's cut Smeg out of a spot there.
Yep.
Where's Rag and all of that?
The rags must be down the bottom here somewhere, but they don't seem to be upright. Slightly aquatic Sunday today.
Aquatic, full drink Sunday. Oh well, we'll leave them to it.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive upside down look, that one on the Ilvy. Good luck, boys. See you back in the club.
Very windy now. Bit at 30 knots there, Bob.
So there's a winner of Heat 3 of the New South Wales Championships. And mighty fine job. Actually, Rag and Famish Cooper's had a win. I think it was in race 1 or 2 when Tommy Clout took the helm that day. So it's racking up some points. It's Cooper's. Well done, boys.
I'm really looking forward to the Vuitton America's Cup World Series event in Fukuoka. It's going to be a great event. The teams are very, very close in performance, and it's the first time that Japanese fans are going to see America's Cup racing in Japan.
For us as a team, it couldn't be better. Fantastic for SoftBank Team Japan to have an event there to showcase the America's Cup and the America's Cup World Series.
We
maritime nation surrounded by the sea. We have a great history with the ocean. We have culture along the water.
I hope to see the Japanese fans supporting their home team, SoftBank Team Japan. I think they've got a really good chance of winning this.
Be able to perform well in Fukuoka for our home crowd would be something really special.
For us, it's a great opportunity to show the people it's great sports, great competition. I hope everybody enjoy the World Series in Japan.